Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of Homebrew the Partial Mash Way with Wyatt. Today I'm going to do something a little different. It's more like a slideshow with a couple of videos mixed in. It's from two back-to-back trips I took. The first one to Fort Collins, Colorado, and the other to Durham, North Carolina. And yeah, you know, on the trips I made it a point to drink beer that I can't get in Nebraska. And that's basically what we've got going on here. Just some video, a couple of videos and some pictures mixed in. This first picture is from actually the wife and I's hotel room in Fort Collins, Colorado. You can see CSU Stadium. You can see just the top of it over the trees. That's Colorado State University's football stadium. All right. Okay, this here is the outside of the van, bus, whatever you want to call it, that I took a brewery tour while in Fort Collins, Colorado. Actually 4 different breweries. It was 2 micro pubs and 2 large breweries. The first brewery was Equinox Brewing, and after this photo you're going to see a video of the guy that did the tours at Equinox Brewing, kind of giving a little history lesson on Fort Collins and all the many brew pubs that they have. Then after that we went to Odell's. Great tour. I didn't even take pictures. I don't know why, but didn't take any video because it was really loud. It was a brew day. All I had on me was my phone, so I just decided, you know what, whatever, I'm not going to do anything. In fact, I really wasn't even going to do this video, but I decided to anyway. So we went to, after Odell's, we went to another micro pub. I can't remember the name of it for the life of me, probably because we were already been drinking quite a bit. And then we finished off at New Belgium. Didn't take the tour at New Belgium, just drank at New Belgium. This really wasn't a brewery tour. It was more like a drinking tour, if you will. So yeah, and then I'm gonna go ahead, and from here we'll go right into that video of that guy's history lesson.
Welcome to Equinox. So I'll tell you guys a little bit about Equinox. You may notice when I'm coming in here, there's kind of a pub style feel to this place, right? You got books and you got board games, you got families hanging out, and and part of the reason they set it up that way is to get back to that initial overall concept of the pub, right? What's pub short for? For the public house. The public house, the place where you come into town and you catch up with your neighbors, see what's going on around your community, can hang out with your family. So these guys do a really good job of being that public house here in our Old Town area. Like I told you, that idea of the pub used to be very much alive in the U.S. in the 1880s. We have our 3,000 smaller breweries. A lot of these communities had your corner pub. By 1980, we went down to 55 breweries. We didn't have that. What we had was a bar scene. We lost that pub scene. And now you see being resurrected as we're over 4,000 breweries in the U.S. Again, revitalize that concept of the pub. A place where you can go and have a beer and have your kids be there and meet with other families. And it's a wholesome environment, but also a place where, you know, you're gonna have some tasty suds. So Equinox is really at a lot of the roots of the brew scene here in our community. These guys are brewery number 6 here in Fort Collins. They opened this a little bit over 8 years ago. They got a wonderful operation. So over at Odell, their tour is going to be kind of long. You're going to walk through multiple spaces. But here at Equinox, the tour starts here and ends here because this is it. This is where everything takes place. It's in this wonderful little spot right here. These guys are masters of space efficiency, and they've got bands that will set up right here, right in the middle of the brew house, and you know they'll roll a carpet out, and they'll pack this place. The disco ball will be moving, and they'll have everybody absolutely rocking out. One of the other really neat things about Equinox is most of the breweries you go to today call it flagship model in brewing, right? You're never going to go to Odell and not see 90 Shilling, not see 5 Barrel. Those are some of the beers that made those guys. But Equinox said, no, we're not going to do that. So this is Chris here again. These guys open over 8 years and done well over 200 different beers, and they have no one beer that's consistently on all the time. So they generally have as many as 19 beers rotating on tap. You come here 3 months from now and every single one of those beers could be different. So they got to buck that traditional flagship model. They also don't distribute. You can't find Equinox stuff out of the liquor store around town. And as you all probably know, if you don't know, you should. It speaks about to me. If you want good beer in Colorado, don't go to a grocery store, right? Go to a liquor store and get it. But part of the reason you can't find Equinox stuff in a liquor store goes back to the idea of the pub. Come on in, come hang out with us, come and have a pint. So even if you buy a growler to go, you're probably going to BS with the guy behind the bar while you're in there. So about 95% of what these guys sell goes out the front door with people like us, coming in, buying pints, buying tasters. That other 5%, an important philosophy for us in Colorado, as it is in Pennsylvania, Nebraska, is sustainability. And part of their pledge to sustainability is with their sustainable delivery vehicle. It's a custom-built tricycle. You can see just sitting out right outside of the fence there. It's got just enough room on the front of that thing for a keg of beer. And within about a 6-block radius, those guys will pedal beer off to you. It's a pretty darn cool thing. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. And then a fun little anecdote that I've also heard about this bike, since that's a custom job. See the rear tire on that thing? Not so big. That sometimes gets used as an off-road unicycle tire. And first time I heard that, I thought, you gotta be nuts, off-road unicycle. Next time you're bored in line at the bank, just YouTube off-road unicycle and you'll see videos of people doing crazy stuff up in the mountains on these unicycles with massive tires. It's absolutely nuts. So just to compare scope and scale of operation, these guys will get about 8.5 barrels of productions, or about 17 kegs off of one batch. They do somewhere just over about 2,000 kegs of beer a year. New Belgium will do that same amount in about half a day. So we're going to go from our small local spot to the end. We're going to stop off at New Belgium. It's the 4th largest craft brewer in the nation. Who is the largest craft brewery in the United States? You guys tell me.
Sam Adams.
Well, Sam Adams somehow fell to number 2, and this brewery got in front of them. And from your home state, Yingling. That's right, Yingling.
It's the oldest craft brewery.
And it's the oldest, and now it's considered to be the largest. They made some kind of adjustment that got it back into the craft club.
Well, they got one in Florida now.
Do they have one in Florida? Yeah, they may. I can definitely see them doing it. You can't get it out here, Yingling. You can get it in Missouri, but yeah, it doesn't make its way to Colorado. But they are now back in the club. I got to tour that brewery at one point. Super cool.
It is awesome.
It's super cool. So these guys are masters of space efficiency. See, everything's been custom built to fit in this spot right here. And the minutia, has everybody toured breweries? Have you seen breweries before? So that minutia of the brew process, they're going to go over in great detail over at Odell. And just that whole, you're starting out with those grains, get that right combination of grains and crack them open. And run them over here to that mash tun. They're going to cover those with water, take them out somewhere about 150 degrees, start pulling out all those wonderful sugars, turning some of those into fermentable sugars, and over into their boil kettle where they'll balance that sweetness with hop additions. And then they'll run it over into one of their fermentation tanks where they're going to fix that yeast and put that yeast to work. And that ale style of beer, which is what a lot of these small breweries are putting out today, we can talk about that. And that goes back to that when you hear about Jefferson, Washington, and some of the earliest beers that were being produced in our country were ale style, now that you see being so popular again. They can put out a batch of that in a week to 2 weeks. New Belgium likes to both say you do a batch of fat tire in 100 hours. That lager style beer can take 2 to 3 times as long as that. But these guys, a tight little system here, and just a really huge part of the roots of the brew scene in our entire community. So it'd be kind of fun to start here, and then from here to go to Odell, who opened in 1989, and is one of the largest operations that we've got here in Florida. So that's a little short and sweet on Equinox. We're going to, as our tour is actually at about 2, we're gonna shoot the head out of here in about 3 or 4 minutes. This is a perfect opportunity if anybody wants to use a restroom. Finish up brew season, I'm going to settle up with these guys at the bar. The Magical Bus is just outside to the right. And in just a few minutes, we're gonna bop on and hop on down the road. Sound good?
Great. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right. Good? Everything good?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
What's the best tour or your favorite tour you've done?
Okay, during our vacation in Fort Collins, we actually also traveled about an hour and a half up into the mountains to visit Estes. It's either Estes or Estes Park, I can't remember. And yeah, I just took this shot because I wanted to show my kids. I mean, that's a jungle gym on steroids. You can kind of see kids up in there with helmets and safety gear. Yeah, and then right after this, you're going to see a video of, this is actually just outside, shares a parking lot with Estes Park Brewery, and you're going to see a short, quick little video of that. Just, you know, some of their big stainless steel fermenters and boil kettles, hot liquor tank, that kind of stuff. And so yeah, I'll let you see that right now. Well, here's hoping the wife forgives me for putting her likeness on YouTube. That's her in the background there. But yeah, so while we were at Estes Park, we took this tram up to the top of one of the mountains. Awesome, spectacular view. Again, why didn't I take pictures? I'm so bad at that. But anyway, and then, you know, what better way to finish off a day hiking in the mountains than with a flight of great beers. I wish I could remember which each one was. I know that the one all the way to the right, you can, I mean, it was a hazy sour, you can see it. It was okay. I mean, I'm not big into those, but as far as that goes, it was really good. But I remember enjoying all of them. They were all good beers. Okay, so that's all the shots we had from Fort Collins. I know I went to what you can consider to be my beer mecca, and that's all I took. I know I'm like I said, I'm just not good at remembering to take pictures. So anyway, this is fast forward about a week or so, and first thing I had to do when I got to North Carolina was have a Yingling. It's such a good beer. Can't get it here. I don't, yeah. So when we got to my uncle's house, he was like, "You want a beer?" And I go, "Absolutely." And he knew. He's like, "You want a Yingling, don't you?" And I'm like, "Of course. What else am I gonna have?" So that was the Yingling I had. Had to stop and get something for the kids. So while in Durham, we stopped at the stadium for the Durham Bulls, and I got 3 shirts for the boys and 1 for my wife. I got a hat for myself. And if that sounds familiar, yes, that is the home of the Durham Bulls, which is a AAA baseball team, which was a part of that movie Bull Durham with Kevin Costner. Anyway, so during the North Carolina trip, not only did I stay in Durham, but we also drove to visit my cousin Natalie and her family in Asheville, North Carolina. I'd never seen the Appalachian Mountains, so I took some shots on the way, and absolutely beautiful. Quite a bit different than the Rocky, not as high, but the green, just green everywhere. That was the thing that amazed me the most out of North Carolina, was the fact that it was so green, trees everywhere. Not used to that in Nebraska. It was really neat. So while we were in Asheville, my uncle took me to go have a beer at the Sierra Nevada brewery there, and I gotta say, what a cool place. If you ever have the chance to go to Sierra Nevada, whether it's Chico or in Asheville, do not pass it up. That was just a spectacular facility, and so much to do there, so much to see, and of course also the great beers. This one here was Southern Gothic, an unfiltered Pilsner. Is delicious. I actually bought a 6-pack of that on our way out. In fact, I was drinking this while sitting on my cousin's porch and viewing this. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, you can't see it. It's being blocked by the trees, but there's actually houses up in that mountain or those hills. Absolutely gorgeous view. So jealous. I go out on my back deck, and what I see is a middle school. So, yeah, real jealous of that view. Awesome stuff. Okay, so this is the brew house at New Belgium in Asheville, North Carolina. Again, I did take the tour. This is the only picture I have from it, and I've got to say it's because, you know, these public tours. You know, I'm not trying to say that I know everything there is to know about beer, but if you're a home brewer and you're really into beer and you want to know, you know, all the ins and outs, these tours are just, I don't think they're going to be, I don't know, it just didn't seem fulfilling. I can't think of the word. To me, I was kind of left like, well, that's it. You know, I want to get my hands in there. It was kind of like, here's where we do this, and it was all behind glass, you know. And I understand they have liability and safety issues, but again, at least it was free. We had a good time. We got to sample a lot of great beer. So that's the brew house at New Belgium in Asheville, North Carolina. Another shot of a beer. This is a Sweetwater, an American Pale Ale by 420 Brewing. I think that's what it is. Excuse me. They're actually out of Atlanta, Georgia. We don't get them in Nebraska. I had one in North Carolina. It was good. It's a real good example of a pale ale. I'm really into pale ales lately. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, that's it. I just thought I'd leave off with, hey, look, the hops are growing. Yeah. That's it. I know I probably should have taken a whole lot more pictures and a whole lot more video. I had fun. It was a great time. Glad to be home though. And yeah, we'll see you guys next brew. Cheers.